This is the Gen 2 Rivian R1T Quad Motor. It makes 1,025 horsepower, 1,198 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, and watch, it can do this. That's kick turn, and it's pretty awesome. Let me show you how to do kick turn. So you have to be in off-road, we're in all-terrain. You press this little icon with the arrows, prepare to turn. There's a little mascot right there doing a dance. And then once you're in kick turn, you press and hold both the buttons on the steering wheel in the direction you want to go. So if I want to go right, I'll press both of those and then give it some accelerator. And then you just start pivoting. There's an angle readout showing how much you've spun around in a circle. You see the quad motors going, and there's 360 degrees. If I want to go the other way, whee! Now you can only do this on like snow, in the gravel, in the dirt. You cannot do this on actual asphalt, on tarmac. There's too much traction. But there you go. You can just keep spinning around in circles until it times out. That's kick turn in the Rivian R1T Quad Motor. Beginning our week with the R1T Quad Motor with a road trip. We were heading out to the suburbs of Chicago, about a 5-hour drive. Roads will probably be a little bit snowy, cold, but we've got the truck, the tires, and everything to handle it. So I'm gonna get my Spotify set up, my navigation set up, my everything set up, and we're gonna hit the road. Talk about different winter car solutions. I'm in a 1,000 horsepower Rivian, and this absolute legend is in an NC Miata. On the freeway now, we'll pull the right stalk twice, which starts highway assist, and then it should go enhanced, which is hands-free. Keep your eyes on the road. We'll raise the speed slightly. The Gen 2 R1s, R1T and R1S, made a huge step forward in terms of the autonomy system, the driver assistance technology, the processing power, just the capabilities of all of it. I remember the first Gen 1, I got on the freeway and I tried it for a little bit and just turned off everything. I was like, no, I'll just drive it myself. It just wasn't that good. Now, we've got enhanced, it is hands-free, and in their recent autonomy day, I think that's what they called it, they had all of these announcements of their next steps, all the things they're planning, serious processing power coming to process all of this data with the sensor clusters too and everything. I think they showed off the R2 with LiDAR installed, but it's showing some really cool promise and a lot of potential as they keep pushing it forward. Eventual full hands-free, eyes off-road where you can actually be doing other stuff. That'll be pretty dang impressive, door-to-door. So I'm quite excited to see where it goes. And I'm also quite excited to enjoy some enhanced driving assistance on this road trip. We've been driving hands-free for quite a while, about to pull over, stop at a Tesla charging station. Battery's preparing for fast charging, just using the built-in navigation system. It planned the route for me. We're down to 26%, 91 miles remaining. I'm gonna go ahead and take over the driving as we get off the freeway. Native Tesla charging port, NACS, the Gen 2 new model year has gone to a Tesla style port. And plug and charge should just get everything going. Still ramping up, 460-ish miles per hour. This is some pretty cool data, and the graphics are a lot of fun too. You get the charge rate relative to your percentage, all sorts of different information, where energy is going. I've used 0.9 kilowatt hours for my heating. We've got 250 plus miles of range now, which is more than enough. I blew past my trip target because I was eating a little bit of food, but I think I can hit stop charge, and we're gonna get back on the road. I just noticed there's a random shopping cart over there. Pretty sure if I put it into reverse, the charging door closes on its own. Yep, and away we go, back on the road. It's very cold out, but take a look at that sunset. That is a very, very gorgeous sunset. Well, this is interesting. I'm used to using an adapter to go from the CCS style to Tesla NACS, but the Rivian now has native NACS, so now I have an adapter for the opposite, to use Electrify America here, because all the Tesla stations are full. I'm gonna use this adapter. So far, I've been really liking this Gen 2 R1T. Now, have I been utilizing the horsepower all of the time? No. Have I utilized it a couple times? Absolutely. Demonstrating launch control to some friends, inciting some hilarious giggles as we experience as fast as the thing would go. I mean, the weather's not ideal at all. The streets are wet, it's snowy, whatever, right? So the fastest launch I have done is a 3.3, which this thing was struggling for traction the entire time, but still 1,000 horsepower. The autonomy system with the driver assistance has been really, really nice. Sound system is good. The infotainment's pretty good. The cameras are great. Like, it's a really nice thing to live with, and charging's been fine. I love actually being able to go to a Tesla station, plug it in. It opens up the possibilities. So it's been a good road trip EV super truck. This is really cool. Last night I got a notification in the Rivian app that the car was updating, and we come out today and we are now updated to 2025.46.00. Let's see what's new. So drive more roads hands-free with universal hands-free, 3.5 million miles of roads. So that's pretty cool. What else? Customized driver display. So they're really pushing the autonomy system. So you can change your drive styles. Spicy for a dynamic drive with tighter gap distance, faster acceleration, and quicker steering during lane changes. So you can pick your autonomy drive style. Your speed controls have changed. Okay. Upgrade to a digital. Okay. Kick. Oh, kick. Yes. What else? Try the new rad tuner. Yep. Got it. Now this is really cool. When you have a car that you buy and it gets better over time, improvements being delivered via over-the-air updates. And that's gotta be so cool as an owner. You come out to your car and now you have more roads that you can go hands-free, and they've improved the UI and they've added new fun features. That's actually really, really impressive. Now the flip side of that is something I've always felt is, because of over-the-air updates, software or firmware engineers have been given almost a crutch where they can ship products that aren't maybe 100% final. They're like, we'll patch it over the air. Oh, we can fix it. Because in the past, right, you can't ship a car with suspension that's not completely done tuning, right? You can't just like make a field action and fix that easily. Whereas now with over-the-air updates, they can really band-aid anything they want. So maybe there are some products that are really pushing the edge that we get, and they're not like final 100% good to go because the developers know, we can make it better, right? So it's kind of two sides of the coin, but I'm viewing it positively. When you get out to your car and there's new things to play around with, you can try out. That's cool. So the Gen 2 model looks very similar to the Gen 1, but there are some slight tweaks. The light bar up front has been updated, but it's immediately recognizable as a Rivian with those rather iconic extended circular oval DRLs. This color is called Storm Blue. It's already a little bit dirty because I've been driving it. We also have the more off-road looking package. Look at these tires, and these wheels are really cool too. And just peeking out from behind those, you can see a little bluish gray brake caliper. That is now the accent color for the quad motor. Same thing behind the Rivian lettering right there. And then coming around the back, we've got the little mascot. I think his name is Gear Guard Gary right there. And then the R1T with the quad lettering, which also is the bluish gray accent color. Now it's rather subtle. You don't see a lot of obvious things that indicate this has over 1,000 horsepower. But let's do a bit of driving. What's rally mode like? Whee! Fighting for traction. Woo! Letting you slip a bit more. Go a bit sideways. Oh, this is not a smooth surface at all. Whee! All right, well, there is no doubt whatsoever that the R1T Quad is a lot of fun, but we are back on tarmac now, so I'm gonna go back to on-road. Sport. Suspension is dropping down, and I think we should try some launch control right now. Surfaces are not ideal. Temperatures are not ideal. It's 31 degrees out right now. It is way too cold. Grip will not be that plentiful, but let's go prepare for launch. Please launch responsibly. It's getting ready, lowering suspension, everything. Press and hold accelerator. Continue holding both pedals. You can see and feel the truck noticeably lowering as it drops all the way down. I was in off-road mode, so that's max height. All right, ready? Yeah, that was definitely not the fastest launch possible, but it still goes. This thing is hilarity. My goodness. But in ideal situations, you would be doing 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, quarter mile in the 10s, which is ballistic. That is a level of performance that used to be reserved for the most high tier of supercars and hypercars. Utterly ridiculous. I mean, think about, do you remember the moment when the Bugatti Veyron came out with 1,000 horsepower? I remember that and being like, how was that even possible? That is unheard of. And now this has over 1,000 horsepower, which is just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy and almost a little bit alarming that anybody can just go buy this, right? You know, when the hypercars were that power level, or the top tier of supercars, you used to have to kind of have a lot of money typically to buy something like that. But like, this is expensive, over $100,000. But, you know, there are plenty of loaded up trucks and SUVs that are in this price range, and you can just go order one, and you have this ballistic missile that can not only go off-road, handle any sort of weather situation, any sort of terrain, but then do this ridiculous stuff. And it gets even crazier. We have Rad Tuner now, which is a whole panel of different parameters we can change. Your acceleration, your regen, your brake assist, steering assist, ride height, torque balance, wheel slip, stability control, damping, and roll stiffness. I can customize all of these things right now. Currently, I'm just using the out-of-the-box sport mode, and honestly, the dynamics and handling of this truck has always wowed me. With the first gen, the truck was better than the SUV. I think, woohoo, a little bit sideways right there. From what I remember hearing was, because the wheelbase is slightly different, the carryover suspension and everything didn't suit the R1S as good. I remember having to put the ride feel in the softest. Anything more than that, and it started like porpoising over uneven pavement. Gen 2 is a lot better, but the R1T here, for a pickup truck, drives and handles not like a sports sedan. It's crazy, right? And then look at this level of customizability. You can do so many things with this thing, and then you also have 1,000 horsepower on tap. And I'm telling you guys, even if the weather's not ideal, and obviously these tires are not the ideal tires for that kind of stuff, you want sticky summer tires to really get those launches out of it, it's pretty ridiculous. Stopping to charge up the car this evening, and check this out. We've got the energy monitor page, and if you tap on the mascot's face, it changes expression. Really fun. There's so many little Easter eggs all over this vehicle. And then if I go over to video, not only can you Google Cast from your phone, you have YouTube, they also have this function where you can record your launch mode. So this was probably earlier by me, but the ideal situation, it's not. It's too cold, right? There was another one that somebody else must have done, and you can watch it from all the different angles. Let me go full screen here. October 8th, 62 degrees out, so way warmer. Let's see. And this looks like an unprepped surface. That's just the road. 0 to 60 in 2.59 seconds. 6 seconds 0 to 100. And let's see, did it go through the quarter mile? Quarter mile in 10.5 seconds. That is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, this is way warmer, way better traction. We were not able to do that this week. Well, it's got a summary screen. That's pretty cool. Look at that. 94% battery, 2.5 something 60. That's absolutely crazy. This is a fun little function where it saves it from all the different angles. So this is pretty nice. We're currently on Woodward Avenue, and we're hands-free. It's mapped. So we're driving hands-free. Impressive. All right, my biggest complaint with the quad motor are the brakes, because this thing is able to reach some pretty alarming speeds very, very quickly, and the brake feel is just a little too soft, and the amount of braking force, I feel like they could have, it needs a little bit of an upgrade, because when you can accelerate like this thing does, you also want to be able to stop pretty confidently. And yeah, when you're doing normal driving, the regen braking honestly is like more than enough when you're driving normally. But once you start, having some fun and getting up to some pretty astonishing speeds very quickly, don't love the braking performance. That's going to be a complaint of mine. All right, so we have this new icon right here. We'll pull back the stalk twice, and we have universal hands-free on. And as you can tell, we are not on a divided highway or controlled road. This is just a regular 2-lane road, and we are hands-free. This is so exciting. This is so cool, getting to try out something brand new. This was not doing this yesterday. And now, if I increase the speed, you now use this little spinny toggle to increase your speed. Before, pretty sure it was the forward and back buttons here on the steering wheel. This is so cool, right? Because like the last couple days spending time with the Rivian, it did not have this ability, and now it does. It's like improving as you own it. Now, these toggles change your drive style. So there's mild, medium, and spicy. It's like you're ordering Thai food or something. I'm gonna start insulting people. You're such a mild driver. Spicy, it even has a little red chili pepper on it. I like that. Rivian engineers have a little sense of humor. So we've currently got hands-free, spicy, autonomous driving on more roads, universal hands-free. This is pretty cool, and this is just the beginning. I imagine this is only going to improve. They've already started talking about, you know, eyes off and then door-to-door, slowing down, following the little Buick in front of me. I'm hands-free now, just watching. This is cool. We're back to universal hands-free. We just sit back as it handles the road for us. Perfectly fine, not bad. We've got a sharper curve coming up here, and it's slowing down quite a bit. Definitely more than it needs to. It's erring on the side of caution. Yeah, that's very slow. We don't need to go that slow, right? The car can handle it, but it's definitely going to be more on the cautious side. Oh, it's like fighting me. What happens if I break the... No? There we go. So there's a little bit of resistance. Babe, let me show you something cool. Look at this. There's a tunnel. You can put some... It goes all the way through. And watch this. I can stand on it.
Yeah, really handy for camping, I suppose.
Yeah, they actually have like an accessory thing where you can have like a whole little stove fold out, like a table. You can cook stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. It's one of the, I think it's the only truck in the world that has the gear tunnel.
Very cool.
All right, on to the next stop.
I'm distracted. You have like a coffee stain right on your nose.
What?
You don't see it?
Another G63, honey. We have seen a dozen G-Wagons since leaving home this morning. We're in G-Wagon Central. Would you rather have this or a G-Wagon?
I don't know, actually. This seems pretty cool.
I'm going to show you something.
I mean, a G-Wagon doesn't have self-driving capabilities.
No, not to this level. A G-Wagon also can't do this.
What was that?
That's a little mascot.
Really?
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
It's cute.
I thought it was a character from, like, The Simpsons.
Put your head back.
Are you gonna do launch control? Whoa!
This thing is ridiculously fast. And that was about a second slower than it could have done 60. Because the conditions are not ideal right now at all. Final thoughts on living with the Gen 2 Rivian R1T Quad Motor. Now, at this price point, a bit over $120,000, this is a lot of money for a pickup truck, but what you get is pretty ridiculous. Now, can I objectively say it's worth the extra money over a tri-motor? Not really. I mean, the tri-motor is ballistically quick. You'll do 60 under 3 seconds in ideal situations, right? I did like 2.9 launching the I think I spent time with an R1S tri-motor Gen 2. The R1T Quad, R1S Quad, over 1,000 horsepower. I mean, it's ridiculous, but you get the fun things like the kick turn. And I think my biggest takeaway this week was, yes, the acceleration and power is hysterical, but the advancements in the autonomy, driver assistance systems really, really impressed me. I love the Gen 2 updated high beams, right? Because it can turn off sections of it. It's got a lot of really cool features, and continued improvement really has made me very, very enjoy spending this week living with this R1T Quad Motor. If I had a lot of money and I wanted a really cool daily driver EV truck, this is still one of the really, really appealing options. Yeah, the Silverado, GMC Sierra EV twins have insane range because of a battery pack the size of the moon, but they also weigh in a crazy amount. They're so heavy. The dynamics of this thing are just fantastic for what it is. The Hummer EV is still really cool. The presence is undeniable. It is massive, but again, it weighs pretty much as the moon too. There's more different options popping up now. This has me also really excited for the R2, but the current top of the line R1T Quad is giggle-inducing quick. A lot of cool Rivian innovations and features. I really enjoyed my time with this thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog and enjoyed watching me do some kick turns. Thanks for watching.